Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint show. Before we start, I think it's right that obviously we mentioned that the sad news today that Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, sadly passed away, 99 years old. You know, he stood by our Queen's side for the last 73 years. It's a sad day for our country, and yeah, I think it'd be sadly missed. I think you boys will join me in raising a glass, if you've got one, for the Duke of Edinburgh. You know, our Queen has lost her husband today. You know, it's a sad day for our country, and yeah, I thought I'd start the show with that. He had a great innings, and yeah, it's a sad day for our country.
Massively, mate, massively.
It's close to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, how you boys been? First of all, before I ask you lot, let's ask the chat. How have you all been?
Yeah, has everyone had a good week?
How is your
Everybody had a good week?
Scott, Graham, how you been, boys?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, good, mate. Had a good week. How's your week been? Busy? You been busy?
Yeah, I have, as it goes. I've been very busy. I've been painting the house. Well, I ain't been painting the house, but my wife and father-in-law have been painting the house. I've been at work. Yeah, been busy at work. Yeah, just how it is, isn't it? Same old, same old.
Things slowly getting back to normal.
Say a bit of bad news. This is going to be the last Friday Night Pint before the pubs open. The pubs are back open on Monday. Hopefully, we'll start getting back to a bit of normality. I'm only joking. This won't be the last Friday Night Pint. We're going to carry it on. But with the pubs being open, it now gives us a bit more of an opportunity to do a Friday Night Pint live in a pub. Hopefully, when we can get more people back. So, looking forward to that.
Yes, indeed.
Right. This, we've got a couple of topics for tonight. You've all seen the headlines. Let's get into the first one. Obviously, devastating news that come out yesterday. Once again, I'll let you into a little secret. The person that probably told me is probably watching this. I actually knew about the Antonio news the night before it was released. But unlike some people, I don't like releasing bad news for two reasons. I don't like being the bearer of bad news. And for two, just in case it ain't true. So I thought I'd wait it out until it was confirmed. And yeah, it's been a devastating week for West Ham, really, isn't it? Declan Rice first, and then Antonio ruled out now. Looks like could be the rest of the season. Might make it back for a couple of games, but the topic is will them injuries cost us our top four dreams? Scott, Graham, what's your thoughts, mate?
The
thing is, it's like Moisey. You see Moisey's press conference earlier. You know, he just turned around and said, "I don't think Mickey will be available for this one." So, is he sort of underplaying the injury? Is the injury not as bad as what we're hearing? You know, obviously, this could have a devastating effect on our season. You know, the fact that we lost a captain, you know, and one of the hottest prospects in football at the moment, in Declan Rice, and then you know we've also lost our only recognised striker. You know, and to be honest, we lose him at a time when him and Lingard running at Wolves' defence was frightening. And
I mean, you look at I'm saying that you look at the Bowen's goal against Wolves. Lingard, he had 6 players around him. That's how worried they were about him.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and that's what we said. We said in the build-up, right, didn't we? About our Connor Cody's going to have his hands full with Antonio running at him, and that's exactly what we did from the outset. And you saw a devastating Antonio, the way he was charging down the defenders, running at him, and I said they could not handle him, and we're going to miss that now for the rest of the. If he is out for the rest of the season, that's going to be a massive, massive miss for us. And there's no one who can replace him.
Well, the thing is, it looks like Bowen's going to go up top. So if you look at the forward four of, say we play the same team as the other night, Bowen comes straight in. You'll have Fornals, Lingard, Masuaku and Bowen. For me, I still feel that can cause team trouble.
Yeah.
That can cause team trouble. But if Bowen picks up an injury, what do we do? We are. Well, I don't want to swear before 9 o'clock, but we'll be buggered. You know what I mean? We'll be that because Antonio, as you said, he looked very sharp. Maybe he was a bit too sharp. Maybe he's worked too hard on himself, and that is what is causing his injuries. Players like Antonio, for me, they're fit enough. So for me, I wouldn't let him train during the week. I'd let him do light gym work. He's fit. He doesn't need to keep himself match fit. Really, he's match fit enough. But
this stage of the season, he should just be topping up a bit of fitness in the week, you know.
But no, I think
Paul Merson said it. Sorry, Scott. I think Paul Merson said it earlier that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for West Ham. We're top four. We're going into a game against Leicester. It's a top four battle. If we beat Leicester on Sunday, we got a point behind them, and they're sitting in third, and that will leave 7 games to go. If there was ever a time that you didn't want to pick up injuries, it's now in this running, and we've lost arguably our 2 probably best players. Like Declan Rice is probably our best player overall. Striker-wise, Antonio is our top striker. So to lose them 2 with 8 games to go is devastating.
We've lost the spine of our side of Bonner, Declan Rice, and now Antonio.
Well, Bonner's been training, so he could be back for the weekend, which is a massive boost. But yeah, it's just as I said, Fornell's Lingard, Masuaku, and Bowen up top. I think it might be Bowen's time to shine. You know, he's got 2 goals in his last 2 games against Arsenal and Wolves. Great strikes. Keeper should have saved both of them, if I'm honest. But that's the luck you need sometimes. You remember this time last year, Antonio went on a little scoring run, and look what happened.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
this might be Bowen's time. And how fitting would it be if we did make the top 4 with arguably without our 2 best players?
Exactly.
Don't forget we've got Ben Rama as well. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
But you know, I said a couple of weeks ago, like we've had a fantastic season. We've managed to stay by our standards relatively injury free this year. But I've always said we're only a couple of injuries to key players away from it all collapsing.
Yeah,
and that's always the way. Unless you're the teams like Man City and the Chelseas and the Liverpools that can bring on good players, better players from the bench. At the moment, our bench is very weak. We're putting 2 goalkeepers on there. You know, you might see fucking 3 goalkeepers on there at the weekend. We're running out of players, but look, I know we sound a bit.
I just enjoy the ride.
I'm enjoying the ride. I've got my ticket and I'm ready to ride out this season, mate. I'm happy. Believe me. I know I don't look it. There I do. Look, see, paint on the smile. Now look, listen. This season's been great, unbelievable, but it can get better. It can be even better. You know, if West Ham nicked that top 4 spot in the situation we're in now, I'd put it on par with when Leicester won the Premier League. That's how I'd put it. Because I believe it'd be a great achievement. Listen, what Leicester done was unbelievable, one of the biggest achievements in football. But I think if West Ham can make top 4, bearing in mind we was favourites for relegation at the beginning of the season, we've lost our 2 key players for looks like could probably be at least 6 games for both of them. I know Declan Rice has been in the gym, and it's great to see. Gives you a little bit of hope. I'll put it up there.
Yeah, no, mate, it is, and this is the thing. If you took this, the way we performed this season, and put that into that season when Leicester won the league, we'd probably be up there challenging them for the title. You know, because it's been that type of season. The difference is the other bigger clubs have not been as poor as they were when Leicester won the title. You know, and that's not taking anything away from Leicester, but other teams weren't as good as they can be. But going back to Antonio, saying about the topping up the training, things like that, the problem for me with Antonio, he relies heavily on his pace and his strength. He's not like a Bobby Zamora type who's, you know, can sit out of training, or a Ledley King who didn't need to train all the time. Antonio's someone that needs to train constantly. And I think this is the big part, because pace is such a big part of his game. And the fact that we're so reliant on him, this is why I feel that he can't rest and not train.
I love this. Look, West Ham delusion, Mr. L. Turner.
Because we're enjoying being up near the top four.
You can call us deluded as much as you want, but with 7 games to go, you know, obviously you're not a West Ham fan. You look like you might be a Tottenham fan. So talking about deluded is coming from a Tottenham fan is a bit much, really. But yeah, look, if you think we're deluded, that's your opinion, mate. That's your opinion.
Yeah, but you see, that's the sort of attitude, like, you know, when Tottenham fans were going, like when they was in the Europa League every year and they were pushing for the top four, there was probably other clubs going, "Oh, Tottenham fans are delusional." Now Tottenham fans are acting like the fans you sat towards them when they were saying, "Oh, yeah, we should be in the top four." Because we're having one good season and enjoying it, we're delusional. That's nonsense.
Let's talk about delusional. Remember November? Yeah. Remember when
when Tottenham won the league?
Yeah, exactly. Let's hold back calling West Ham fans delusional when you've got fans like that who sit there and think, "Oh yeah, let's stop the count. Let's like Southampton did. You know, let's stop it now in November." Yeah. All right, you keep calling us delusional, mate. You know, let's be honest. There's only one.
You know, we are allowed to enjoy the odd successful season we have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's just one of them things. Yeah.
Listen, Tottenham in their heads, they win the league every season, but they never get a trophy for it. But anyway, forget about them lot. Let's talk about us. I like talking about West Ham because this is a West Ham channel. Yeah, look, there's still a lot of positives to take into Sunday. I know we're going to preview the Leicester game a little bit later, but the news with Antonio was a bit hard to take. You know, I thought Declan Rice. That was hard. That was hard to take as well. But to lose them 2 players is devastating. But as I said, we've still got the players, especially with a player like Jesse Lingard on the pitch. I mean, let's talk a bit about Jesse Lingard. Unbelievable again the other night against Wolves. Run the show. You know what I love about him? He flows around that football pitch, always looking for the ball, never panics. Knows when to slow the game down, knows when to speed it up, and you just look at that first goal we scored. We didn't mention this on post-match pint, but you got to give Soufal a lot of credit for that first goal. The way he won it back, you know, played the 1-2 with Lingard, put him on his way, and then the run of Antonio took COYI away, and Lingard with a great finish, but. It's he's a key player for us, and obviously David Moyes wants to make him his number 1 target. Man United have said that they've slapped a £30 million transfer fee on him. If I was West Ham, I'll be giving them 35 just as a little bonus. Here's your 5 million bonus. Thank you very much for Jesse. See you later. Because there's no way now, with a year left on Jesse Lingard's contract, that he's going to want to go back to United and play second fiddle. And the thing is as well, Man United talking about that they want to swap Jesse Lingard and money for Declan Rice. Get out, you deluded cloud. You've got people calling us deluded. Man United are even more deluded, thinking they're going to, you know what I mean?
This is the thing, mate.
You know what?
Go on, Greg, go on.
Go on, mate. Sorry.
No, this is the problem we're going to have, right? Between now and the start of next season, when that transfer window, Rice is going to be linked with everyone, isn't he? Anyone who's got money to spend, anyone who's a bit like, oh no, they're better than West Ham, he's going to go there, you know. And that's the thing. Why are we going to sell Rice to be able to finance a move for Lingard? Excuse me, you know.
You want Lingard playing alongside Lingard?
Exactly. Listen, we finish inside of a European place. Lingard. It's an easy move for him. He's moved down here. He seems settled. He's enjoying it. He's enjoying playing with his teammates. You've only got to see the training pictures. The banter between him and Declan Rice looks, you know, brilliant. So it as much as the Lingard move to West Ham suits West Ham, I feel that with that year left on his contract, the Lingard move for him to us suits him because he can be the focal point. He can be the number 1. It gives him a chance to step out of this being a good player, you know, a very good player within a good side with other egos around him, to being in a side where he's probably going to be one of the better players, but there's no ego. It's just everyone's playing for everyone, you know, and it pushes him more, if you know what I mean. And I feel we've seen that with Lingard. He's had a point to prove to himself and to Man United. But now he's proved that point, and he still wants to do it because he's enjoying his football.
Let's go into the chat. Let's get a few comments up. Just before I do, Nicky might be joining us later. He's out at the moment. He's running a bit late. Dan's not with us tonight, but if they don't make it, you're stuck with the three amigos. But no, Nicky might make it. Robert Furness, I'm just enjoying the ride. Champions League or Europa League, we have 8 cup finals out. Our destiny is in our hands. Totally agree. Sufal and Creswell, most underrated fullback, says Sam. Chris Green, just had a fat old Nando's, now slobbing it out with you legends. Oh, yeah. He's having a cheeky Nando's. Cheeky Nando's on a Friday night.
Cheeky Nando's.
And then you're watching Friday Night Pint. What a night. What a night. Eli saying Jesse Lingard signed for us on his birthday. Well, what a present. See, that's what we deliver. Matthew saying, pay the money, Ryan. Got to get Jesse for the summer. I ain't got the money, mate. Like I know there's people that call me whatever, but yeah, I definitely ain't got 35 million. I could probably scrape 25 together, but not 35. Scott will have to cough up the rest for that. Mike, who's joined us on Periscope, loves what Jesse did in the last few minutes, wasting time in the corner. Yeah, see, and I said that on Post-Match Pint. We've not done that over the last few years and seen out games, and that's what the experience that Jesse Lingard brings to West Ham.
And it wound up that position as well.
20 million plus Lanzini for Lingard. Yeah, I'd definitely do that deal, but I don't think Man United want to do that deal, if I'm honest. Who else we got here? Let's have a look. Billy's joining us. Watching from Malta again, lads. Finished work, beers in, and Friday Night Pint with the three amigos. Thank you so much, Billy. Hope the weather's beautiful in Malta, mate. Enjoying it.
Never been Malta. I'd like to go there.
Jesse, amazing. What we've been missing. Totally agree. WHU always says Karen Brady swap for Jesse. Yeah, I don't think United take that one, but I think we all would. Eli is asking, where's Dan? Dan's not with us tonight, unfortunately, mate. I think he's been caught up at work. And let's get one more in here. Which players are leaving in the summer? Adnels wants to know. I don't know. Me and Graham sort of spoke about that on the social, and I think there will be a few players leaving. Anderson, Yarmolenko being two of them. I think Lanzini as well. As me and Graham said, if there's 4 or 5 leaving, we need to bring in about 9 or 10. Because we're short already, so we need 4 or 5 at the moment.
Yeah, without foul, that's the thing now. You're talking, you are looking. Yarmolenko's days are probably numbered. Lanzini definitely. Balbena or Diop I can see going out the door as well. We're going to need another goalkeeper, in my opinion. So yeah, you're looking about 4 out the door, and you're going to need at least 10 players coming in. And this is what I was getting to before about us. If we do qualify Champions League, that's a lot of players to bring in. If we get there and we need 10 players, that's a lot.
If you want to compete, me and
Ryan said on the social as well. We can't do it like we did before when we qualified for the Europa League preliminary rounds, right, and just go and buy 8, 9, 10 players without really thinking about how they're going to fit into the system.
Scott would love another team of North Whites, wouldn't you, Scott? We've had someone having Nando's. Steve's on the old cod and chips and a pint, and the three amigos, perfect for a Friday night.
It's making me hungry. I haven't had my dinner yet. It's making me well hungry. Oh,
making me hungry, and I've had my dinner.
Yeah, I had to rush. I had to finish mine. So
just before we come on air, Scott shoved the whole lasagna in his mouth like Garfield.
No, I had what do I have? I had peri-peri chicken chips and then a Casper's for dessert. So that was quite nice. Treated herself tonight.
Every time I speak, like when I speak in the day, you're like, I've just had like a meal deal.
That's why I'm fat, mate.
Scott has desserts.
I always seem to ring Scott around about lunchtime. He go, I'll just have my lunch.
That normally happens at lunchtime, Gray. Come on.
Well, no, your lunchtime's early doors.
Gorinda's laughing. Ha ha! Compete in the Champions League. Let's get real. Well, we're sitting fourth, mate. So it's in our own hands, really. So we are getting real. But thanks for dropping a comment, mate. Nice to know you're here and enjoying the show.
This is the thing, you know. Look, we discussed this before, and I had people sitting here saying, "Oh, what, you don't want to get finished fourth? Like, what's the point in playing?" It's not that we don't want to finish in the Champions League. You want to finish as high up as possible, but you're looking realistically in the amount of investment that we would need to be able to just try and get out of a group stage in the Champions League. Yeah, look, I'll be happy if we qualified for the Europa League. Champions League would be fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but if we got in the Europa League, that'd be just as good. And we've got more of a chance of competing in Europa than we have the Champions League. But you know, I'll take either all day long.
Yeah, it just makes me laugh when fans from clubs go, "Oh, you know, you got Chelsea were nothing special until 2003. Tottenham have only really come, a top four club in the last few years. Man City and all that. So it's clubs have got to break into that little group at some point. We're not saying we're definitely going to qualify for Champions League. We're just enjoying being up there. So I don't get where all this idea where delusional comes from.
Yeah, but not being funny. How good would it be for football in general? Look, there'll be people saying, no, it won't be no good not having the big boys in the Champions League. But imagine Leicester and West Ham both qualified for the Champions League.
Well, I was just about to say that, Scott. The FA and the Premier League and UEFA, they don't want teams like West Ham and Leicester in the Champions League. They want the so-called big name teams in there. But as for neutral fans, yeah, but for neutral fans would love to see a team like West Ham go in there, because I'm sure when Leicester got to the Champions League, no one gave them a chance, and they got to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember Leeds all the way back in 2002, 2003, whenever it was. I remember them getting to the semi-final. It might have been 2001, something like that, and they lost to, was it Valencia or something? But it's look, it is what it is. As I said, go on.
No, it just makes me laugh. Like, it was you're delusional. Well, if there's a lot of clubs that weren't in that little clique for a long, until they got investment and all that. So they just want a closed shop. They want a closed club.
These rival fans that say we're deluded, spend a couple of seasons in our shoes that we have been in the last few years, and then put yourself where we are now, and tell me you won't be enjoying it.
Exactly.
No, but that's the thing. Exactly. We're not saying we should be there every year. We're just enjoying being there now.
Listen, no one likes it because David Moyes are making fucking noise in the Premier League. Come on, you Lions. Anyway, Craig Dawson is now a hammer. Well, signed
a permanent
deal. 2 years. 2 years, is it? 2 or 3 year deal. 30 years old. I think cast our minds back to when we first signed him. I don't think anyone really wanted him. I don't think anyone gave him a chance. I think if we look back at all of us at the time, I remember Nicky saying, "Yeah, listen, I hold my hands up. I do. I didn't say he was the worst player I've ever seen, but
no.
I thought to myself, everyone fully fit, he wouldn't even make the squad. But listen, I love what he's doing. I love what he's done. I love that he's just come in, he's taken his chance, he's held on to his spot. Okay, look, he's scored a couple of own goals, but he's also scored winners for us. He's also scored crucial goals. He's made important blocks. I think that he's taken his chance, and as I said, he's only 30, so he's got a couple of good seasons for him. He's been solid for us at the back.
Do you know something that made me laugh?
A joke?
I don't know whether it was on it was either on Twitter or on one of the comments on the channel. A Watford fan sitting there going, "I enjoy relegation because we've signed Dawson," and I'm just sitting there thinking, you really haven't watched him play this season.
I see Watford fans laughing the other day when we signed him on a permanent deal, and I'm thinking to myself, do they realise where he is?
Yeah,
they have been watching him, haven't they? They've been watching him play.
He's top 4 in the Premier League. You know, I remember that everyone sort of kicked up a fuss when what was his name? The right back, Ngakia. Was it Ngakia? When he left us.
Yeah.
Listen, we never released him. He wanted to go. Let's just remember that. So he left. I haven't heard much of him, to be honest. I don't know what he's doing at Watford. I don't know if he's having a good season or what. We got Craig Dawson.
I believe he is playing.
I remember West Brom fans laughing that we signed Craig Dawson. Listen, I know they had a great result last week against Chelsea, but I think West Brom fans have probably swapped their mum and dads for to be where we are at the moment. Because I don't think they're going to get out of it, and they'll probably be in the Championship next season. So they can laugh at Dawson as much as they want, you know. Listen, good luck to him, as I said. Good luck to him.
That's it. You know, and that's the end of the day. He's proved everyone wrong, including ourselves. You know, let's be honest. Did any of us actually think that he would be as good as he has been? No. You know, we all sort of agreed that he'd be a squad player and stuff like that. And he's done the opposite. You know, waited to get his chance. He took a long time to get his chance. And since he took it, he's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Do you know what?
His partnership with Albon has been brilliant.
I was going to bring this up, but I've just seen someone comment on it, right? WHUFC always. What's everyone saying about getting a free agent striker like Costa? Now, with 8 games to go, Diego Costa's a free agent. I'm sure that we can bring him in. Would you get him in for these last 8 games with the crisis we've got?
No.
Well, you're fucking mad.
No, you're talking, you know, do you really see Costa like Lingard kept himself in shape the way Lingard did?
The thing is, though, Scott, with players like Lingard on the pitch, all he's got to do is stay in that box. He can finish. Yeah, and the thing is, mate, even if it cost us 10 million in total in wages or whatever, if he helped us get top 4, that pays for it.
Oh, of course it does. Of course it does. It's just I just think it'd take him too long to get up and running, to get match fit, to be able to cause an impact. Because you look at the way we play, we still need that forward to do a lot of work. And, you know, Costa coming in, not having kicked a ball in God knows how long, you know, we'll probably get 4 games out of him. Right, if you can sit there and say Antonio's definitely going to be out for the rest of the season, 4 games could be a blessing. But it's a risk to take. And will he upset the apple cart? You know, will he upset the way things are in the dressing room at the moment? Because, as I said, as much as we're losing players to injuries, the squad, the camaraderie and the ethos within the squad seems to remain the same, that they're all pulling in the same direction, all working for each other, all wanting to pick up the slack that another player's...
You say about upsetting the apple cart, though. A lot of people said that about Jesse Lingard.
Oh, of course. You know, and that's it. And it's just what the player brings, what his attitude is, and how in shape he's kept himself.
It does. Look, it's not going to happen. I just thought I'd chuck it in there as a little...
but the thing is...
See that, Gray?
If nothing else.
See that, Gray? Chuck it in the mixing bowl and mix it up.
But then the thing is, you bring him in. You know what his disciplinary record's like. You know, what's to say you don't come in, get yourself sent off in the first game? It's too for me. I get why people would say to bring him in because he is a quality player, but for me, too much of a hothead, take too long to get up and running, and probably an ego that we don't want in the dressing room at the moment.
So that was something maybe we should have done. You know, is something we should have been bringing in January or February, if we were going to do it, to give him a chance to get fit and up and running. But I mean, with 8 games to go, it's a bit of a it's a massive gamble because, you know, as Scott says, how many games you're going to get out of him.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. We missed the super chat. Sorry, guys. Mr. Marvel, I don't think we'll finish top 4 because of the injuries, but I'm just going to enjoy the run-in. There's 8 games to go last season. We were already down. Come on, you irons. So,
I think we sort of touched on that the other day, Scott, on the build-up show, is that, you know, where we was this time last year to where we are now is listen, it's got to be down to, as much as it's down to the players, David Moyes has got to take a hell of a lot of credit, because you look what he's done when he's come in the first time, he kept us up. He then left the club, he come back, and it doesn't matter how he done it, he kept us up last season. In his first full season, he's taken us from being a team fighting relegation to going into the last 8 games of the season with a chance. I'm not saying we're going to get it, but a chance of getting in the top 4. Now, even if we finished in the top 8, if we finished 8th, I'll be a bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie, because I think we're better than that. But that is still a great achievement from what we got last season.
Yep, 100%, mate. 100%. It's a lot like what we said when we drew with Arsenal. You know, if before the game, if you were turned around and said, right, you're going to draw this game, you would have took the point. You know, but when you put yourself in a position like we did there, and the position that we're in now, to drop off and finish 8th would be a disappointment. But it's not the end of the world. You know, I'd be a bit disappointed if we didn't finish in some sort of European position.
Joe's saying Daniel Sturridge is a free agent. He's another striker, but I think he'll be the same as sort of Costa, won't it?
I've seen comments in the thing about players you play. It's how much that player wants to play. Jesse Lingard wanted to play. And that's the difference.
Turks is saying, guys, don't be so negative. We will finish in the top 4. Mate, we're not negative. We're just having a little chat. And listen, as I just said, this season's been amazing. Whatever happens now, it's been a great season. So we're not negative. We're just sort of, well, I think we're more concerned that injuries might stop us getting from the top 4, because I think if we had Declan Rice and Antonio in these last 8 games, fully fit squad, I think we would make that top 4.
100%, 100%. Yeah, with everyone back fit, I think we would. Excuse me.
Someone's just said there, Fat Black 96. Would you bring back Anderson?
I don't know. Yeah, he hasn't really been.
I think we'll move on from that question. I think you sort of summed that up there.
No, but he hasn't really been doing it in Portugal, has he? And I just don't know whether he would fit into the way we're playing at the moment. Because as good as we are, as we have been playing, you know, with the ball, it's all about work ethic off the ball, and I just don't think he'd the work ethic required on the defensive side of the game.
This is the thing. This is what I was touching on about Ben Rama the other day. You know, how I don't feel that he has the work rate that Moyes. That's just how Anderson wasn't a Moyes type of player. Anderson weren't going to do the dirty work, and you know, he blows too hot and cold.
Anderson's he's a luxury player.
Yeah, and in a Moyes team, you can't afford to be a luxury.
No.
Hammer Dreads in the house. Just because we are in the top 4, we can't simply just keep turning a blind eye to our sad reality, which is GSB aren't doing their bit for the team at the moment. And I think this will. I think at the moment they're not getting as much stick as they deserve at the moment with things that are going on. But I think if we don't make that top 4, the first thing people are going to say once this season's finished is it's because we didn't strengthen in January when we sold Haller and we never replaced him. You know, whatever people thought of Haller, if he was still at the club now, it'd be an option. So
the easiest way to sum it up, mate, is when Antonio was injured, how many games did we actually not compete in because Haller was playing? Not many. You know, he was still a striker. He still chipped in with his goals this season. No matter how much people hated him and didn't like him, he still chipped in with goals.
Theodore the Pussycat. Graham is looking very sexy today, and I agree. That light,
very, very kind of you to say so.
That light is making him shine. Yes, Graham. The cat.
And the hair's growing back as well. Look, the hair's growing back as well.
Nice little. Oh yeah, I forgot you shaved it off, didn't you, a few weeks ago? Are you gonna do that again, or was that just a one-off?
I don't know. I'm at the stage now where I've either got to shave it again or let it grow and get it cut next week.
Just get a mullet, mate. Just go for the mullet look. Where are we? Let's have a look. Cheers from Rio de Janeiro. Oh, mate. What? How nice would it be? Like sitting in Brazil now watching us. Oh, look at that. That's lucky. That's nice. Thank you so much for watching, by the way.
I think there's a couple of people in the chat from watching from Brazil today. I think I've seen a few comments pop up. It'd be nice to have a little world map of where everyone's watching, wouldn't it? It'd be good to see.
It'd be nice if they flew us out there, you know. I'm not like fucking it out there. Like, I wouldn't mind doing Friday Night Pint live from Rio.
Drinking a nice cold Brazilian beer.
Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. Right. We could have you standing on the top of the mountains like the old what's it called? What's the name of the big statue there? I forgot. Yeah, you know.
Oh no, what's it called?
I don't know. I'm sure someone would tell us. Someone would tell us. Someone.
Christ Redeemer, is that it?
I don't know, mate.
Could be.
All I know is that I've seen it loads of times. Right, let's. What we got? Right, this is another subject that come out today. The second subject, Jared Bowen, warned by the FA today. Now, this relates to a tweet a few weeks ago that was brought up. You know, when Jared Bowen was 15 at the time.
Sorry, hang on. It is
It is Christ.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So yeah, he's been given a warning by the FA, and he's been told to attend an education course. I think since the FA have seen sense there, because a lot of people were saying, "Oh yeah, but Cavani got 3 games," and I think Chowdhury, the Leicester midfielder, posted a couple of tweets a few years ago. But the Cavani one, listen, Cavani's a grown man. It was only a few months ago. Jared Bowen was 15 at the time. He apologised. It was wrong. We all know it was wrong. I'm glad that the FA have seen a bit of sense there. But with what's been going on at West Ham lately, I'm surprised that he didn't get a 2-game ban. And I think that would just been the end of it for me.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Is you could, I know what you're saying. You could see. We keep saying how the FA and the Premier League don't want us to get into the top competitions, that type of thing. But yeah, you know, I think it was seeing sense. You know, he's got the educational course, so you know, it's just one of them things. He's saying, I bet that he personally is glad to see the back of and move on for and can concentrate on his football. And now, as I said, we need him now to step up to the plate. We need him to become the striker that we've got. You know, he's the only option really we've got as a striker. So yeah, I'm glad he's. You know, I bet he's glad to see the back of it.
Ram?
Yeah, no, I agree with Scott. You know, it was a stupid thing to tweet. He shouldn't have done it. But like you say, he was 15. Who don't say stupid things when they're 15?
Yeah, no. I agree, Gray. We spoke about this a few weeks ago. I mean, I'm not going to go too much back into it, but I think it's a weight off of not only Bowen's mind, but our mind as well, and David Moyes as well. Because there was probably David Moyes was probably thinking, you know, he might get a ban here because we've seen it with other players. But look, when Bowen done it, he wasn't even a professional football player. I know that don't make a lot of difference really, but as Graham said, when you're 15, you do make mistakes. It's a long time ago. He's apologised. Now it's all just move on. And, yeah, he'll be available. And as Scott said, he's going to be critical for us in these last few games of the season.
Massively now. Massively. Do you want to have a look at some of the comments, right?
Scott, do you want to take some comments, mate?
James Gaines says, I'd like to see...
Because I can see you reading them. I could see you reading them. I think we'll get them up.
Yeah. What do you think of that? Or the Beku? You know, he's obviously young striker. We saw him a little bit against United. Weren't really a game he could get involved in.
Yeah, I mean, Fizz, you got to start giving the youngsters a go at some point. And you know, I mean, it could be. I mean, it's one of those. You remember when Tompkins was sort of thrown in at the deep end a bit, wasn't he? When he come in, the first couple of games, first few games, he was a bit shaky, but it was a sink or swim.
Yeah,
he ended up being a very good centre half.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, Moyes has got the options to mix it up a bit. I mean, as Graham said earlier in the show, Ben Rama's available. Ben Rama, for me, as I said, I've been saying it for the last few weeks. He needs a game. He needs a goal. Well, he does need a game, but he needs a goal. So, you know, who do you drop though? Because it's difficult. It is difficult at the moment, but with the players running out, he might find himself next week being a starter anyway. So
I think touch wood, it doesn't happen. But if we pick up another injury to a striker or person that can play in the striker position, he has to be given a go. You know, which is again with this, you know, Dean Ensign. When are we going to give young boys a go? Coventry needs to get some minutes in. This was a surprise to not have him on the bench and have two goalkeepers on the bench the other night. You know, will he get a call up with his injuries?
One player at the moment who's flying is off a lay-on at Bolton, who we loaned out, and he's having a great season for Bolton. You know, Bolton were minus 15 points at the start of the season. They're fourth. They're fourth. It shows how well they've done, and I think he just got their player of the month as well. And Bolton fans are raving about him. So Bolton's a massive club, and it's doing well down there to learn his trade a bit.
Hammerdred says if Graham was a wrestler, he'd be Shawn Michaels definitely. The music, the entrance, just a sexy boy. Natsy, I think, is watching from Mongolia. Mark Alexander Reading. So a few more. Yeah. Moby Dick's watching from South London. Let's have a look. See here. John H watching from Malta. So I'm going through.
Up the Maltese Hammers.
Forget Brazil. Bognor Regis is watching. Good a couple of nights out in Bognor Regis, Butlins.
Great part of the country. Great part of the country.
Tommy says, greetings from Porto. Anderson hasn't played at all over here. You know, that's worrying. That is worrying. You know, when you look at that, the fact that we sent him out there and to get game time and he hasn't played at all.
I think Moyes would definitely be looking to offload him in the summer without a doubt. I don't think if Moyes would have sort of taken to him, he would have kept him and not loaned him out.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Green, Benrahma doesn't fit in Moyes' system. As Sullivan's signing, you think he could potentially be sold to make space for new signings? I think Benrahma isn't a Moyes signing, if I'm honest.
I think, no, that what you got to do is you got to realise that this is Benrahma's first season in the Premier League. This is a learning season for him. All right, it could have gone a bit better, but, you know, a good full season and then a pre-season, and next season we might see a different Benrahma. Some people can take to the Premier League and some people can't, and I think he has taken to the Premier League. He just needs that little extra to make him a first-team regular, and he's got to give David Moyes that headache, because when David Moyes has given him a chance, like one game that springs to mind, Leeds United away, man, the match that night, you know, so he has had his moments, but just not enough of them.
Well, the thing is, mate, you've had players come to the Premier League, like, you know, they've been some of the best players in the world elsewhere.
That's it.
They've come to the Premier League and for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out. So, you know, it happens to the best players in the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a way people can adapt to the Premier League quick, and some people it takes a bit of time. So it's his first season, so let's give him a little bit of.
Do you think that he's not adapted because of the lack of consistent game time?
Yeah, and I find that when he does start, that he knows that when that ball goes up, a bit like Jared Bowen as well, he knows that he's probably going to be taken off. And that frustrates a player because I think when they know that, they try too hard and they overthink things and overdo things on the football pitch, and it frustrates them. So, yeah,
that's the thing. But as I said, when you look at the injury now to Antonio, with the fact that like Bowen comes in, so you're going to have that front line that you spoke about earlier, but having Ben Rama there as an option as well, because I'm sure there'll be another game where we'll see that Bowen, Ben Rama, Lingard front three. Because it's all that worries me a bit is that sometimes, especially against Wolves when we were under the cosh a bit, we went long and looking for Antonio and he wasn't there. That's the only problem with these other players that we've got to play up in that position. They're not that type of, not going to hold up the ball, which I thought we saw with Odebeku when he came on against United. We were asking him to hold up the ball, and he seems more, for me, from what I've seen from him in the under-23s, look, he's still young, he's still learning, but I think he'd benefit more from playing up top with a Lingard, Bowen, Ben Rama sort of combination around him.
Yeah, players that play on the floor.
Yeah. He
can play off the shoulder and make them little runs. But Anil's asking, what is Ben Rama's best position? See, I see him more. Me personally, I think that he'll be better playing behind the striker.
Yeah, I do.
More central than out wide. I know he enjoys playing out wide, but I think he can create more things in the middle.
Yeah. I'm with you as well. Was it against Leeds where him and Lingard started together?
Yeah.
The movement that the two of them showed in that game, there is promise there, Lou Saint there. It's just finding that third piece of the puzzle to click with them too, if you get what I mean.
See, I think with Ben Rama playing just behind the strikers, I think he's the sort of player, if you're playing against the team that are sitting deep and defending in numbers, he's the sort of player that he's got that little something extra that can unpick a defence.
Yeah.
John saying Benny not really been given a fair crack of the whip. Talented boy, not knocking Moyes though. It's a game of opinions, and yeah, that is true. At the end of the day, listen, Moyes is the manager. He has to pick the team. We as fans can sit here and we can sit here and talk all night about what we think Moyes should do. And at the end of the day, he's the one that makes the final decisions, whether we think is right or wrong. He's the man employed at the football club to do that, make the decision. And it's a good headache for him to have when he's got an option like Ben Rama to bring off the bench. And plus, I see him in, I don't know if you see it, but obviously West Ham done the virtual open training session this week on YouTube. I didn't watch it live, but I watched a bit of it back when I got home. And it was nice to see Yarmolenko back out on the grass running. Hopefully he'll be back. Obviously Ogbonna. I think that Ogbonna might be in the squad for Sunday, which will be a massive boost. Even rumours of him tonight that he might even start on Sunday, which if he's fully fit, chuck him straight in there. Fuck it. Because what Leicester, I mean, we're going to talk about Leicester in a little while, but what they've got going forward, the way Diop and Dawson played the other night, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit worried with what Leicester have got. Because they've got a lot of better threat than what Wolves have.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it.
Anyway, we'll get on to that in a minute.
That's so, mate. Like with the Ben, right? If it was that easy to be a manager, we'd all be doing it. So,
yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, you are a manager, in you.
He's come back out of retirement. 5 more games.
I'm a standing manager for 5 games.
Oh, you're like Phil Brown. You're like Phil Brown at Southend, are you?
me and Scott are the interim. We're the caretaker managers.
Exactly. That's we're stepping back into the
just to the end of the season. Just to the end of the season. We're getting the management dream team back together.
I might come over and cut the oranges or something. I'll do something like that. Scott, can I just ask you a quick question?
Go on, mate.
Did Sam just walk past you then?
Yeah,
or was that a ghost? I thought I see a ghost. Please tell me that was Sam.
No, that was Sam. She was just getting something off the sofa, I think.
Oh, I'll tell you what, my heart went a bit funny then because I thought I could see something go across the screen.
The funniest one's when Cody walks in because he's small He ain't here tonight. He's over the in-laws. But when he's small, he walks in, and if I've got this angled wrong, you'll just see this little like top of his head just skim across the screen.
Here's another one for you. I see this today. Mark Noble can make his 400 Premier League appearance on Sunday. I don't know why that's come out like that. Let's change that. I don't like it when it's like that. Let's there we go. Scroll it across the bottom. Yeah, Mark Noble could join an elite club on Sunday. He'll make his 400th Premier League appearance for West Ham if he appears, which I think he probably will. He'll probably start. Listen, whatever you think of Mark Noble, what an achievement that is. As a local boy, born just down 2 miles from the stadium, from the bowling ground. Yeah, someone's just said it there, and Noble's 1 goal behind Di Canio as well. He hasn't scored this season, has he?
No,
I don't think he scored this season, so it'd be nice for him to get a goal this season.
Actually pops up with the winner Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, listen, whatever you think of him, what an achievement that is. And listen, us three can sit here, and I'm sure everyone in the chat that supports West Ham would dream to play once for West Ham at the bowling ground and in the Premier League. That boy has done it over 500 times for the club.
Yeah,
being captain as well. Catching your boy club.
Yeah,
he's living the dream of every young West Ham supporter who wants to be a footballer. You know, to be the captain of your side.
That's why I like. Because he had a good game the other night against Wolves, and I was glad because if we'd lost that, he'd have had the people would have been, when Noble's in the side, you know.
Well, if you'd have gone on social media that day, Gray, it weren't even worth us turning up, mate, because we'd have lost the game. But as you're talking about Mark Noble, and I love Mark Noble, I'm going to crack open another beer. So carry on, keep talking.
Yeah, the thing is it written in the stars? The fact that Declan Rice is missing. Can you imagine last game of the season? We need a win. Last minute, Noble bangs in a penalty to become the club's leading goal scorer in the Premier League.
Let me tell you something now. Yeah, stop talking because you're getting me so horny here. Listen, joking aside. Yeah, look, as Rice is out the side now, Noble will be back on penalties. And as I said, look, whatever people think about Noble, I don't want him to become a scapegoat at West Ham. I don't want him to be. I know he gets his critics, and listen, I've criticised Mark Noble before, but I can't hate the bloke, or I don't think West Ham fans hate him like that. I just think I agree, and I think Mark Noble will even agree, and he's even said it recently that when there's better players, they go in front of him. And that's the signs of a great captain and someone that loves the football club, that they come out and say that when they're a player that's only got a year left.
That's it, and that's the thing. You know, it's good to see. It's as I said, that interview he did the other day with Bianca Westwood. He knows he ain't a young lad anymore. He knows his best days are sort of behind him. But you know for a fact that when he's out there, he'll give his all. And to be honest, that's what at this moment in time when we're a bit down in the dumps because we've got injuries to key players. You need a lift, and I thought he did give the side a lift against Wolves. You know,
I think you'll find that with what's going on at the club at the moment with the injuries in the team, you need someone like Mark Noble to keep the spirits up in the dressing room. And despite all the injuries and the news of Declan Rice and Antonio, the players' heads could have been down. You know, but you know, fair play to them. You know, they still look like they're still like they're going to put a fight in.
Yeah. And
Mark Noble won't allow them to do anything but every day geeing them up. You know.
Look, Chris Green saying he was 14 when Noble made his debut. He's 32 in a couple of months. He's going to see him. Strange not having him on a team sheet and on the pitch. Listen, I remember watching Noble for the youths at West Ham, going over Chad Weath and watching him. And I've just turned 37, so I've seen him go from a young kid to captain West Ham, and it shows how old you're getting when players like that retire. But I think Moisey come out and said it today that whatever happens, Mark Noble will always be involved with West Ham, whether he goes into the coaching role or, I'd like to see Noble take on that, especially with the youngsters. I think because we said it a few weeks ago that youngsters that inspire to play for West Ham's first team have just got to look at players like Mark Noble, Declan Rice. Declan Rice is. I was there when Declan Rice made his debut at Burnley away when Bilic brought him on last game of the season. And to see where he's gone from then to now to a full England international, first name on a team sheet, and the world talking about him, it's proud. It's things like that make you proud to support West Ham when you see the youngsters come through. And Mark Noble, I know he didn't have the international career that we wanted him to have. But deep down, I think playing for West Ham for Mark Noble would probably mean more. I mean, he'd love to have played for his country, but he could, no disrespect, but he could have gone and probably got 50, 60 caps for Ireland if he wanted to. He could have gone down that route.
And that's the one of the things. It's all right just going to get caps.
To be fair, though, Scott, he could probably still go and get 50, 60 caps for Ireland if he wanted to, because he hasn't played for England, and Ireland, they're not great at the moment, are they?
No, that's it. But the thing is, it's one of them, and you want to represent the country. He done it at under 21 level. He was consistent in that side when he was playing there, and that's the thing. It's a shame he hasn't got that England cap. That's the thing. It is a shame, but I said he's had a fantastic career at the club, and to be honest, the only thing that's missing for it is a bit of silverware.
We won the playoffs, Scott.
Yeah, I know, but
you're on about a major trophy. But Scott, how many players since we last won our major trophy have we been saying that?
Oh, exactly.
We'd love to. But it'll be the dream for next season for us to go out and Mark Noble win a trophy. You know what I mean? So, Bonnie Hammer saying, do you agree with X and Dave Walker that there are too many in the fan base are negative and toxic? I haven't listened to the podcast yet. I know I've seen a few people talking about it on social media, but listen, I know Dave and they're both passionate fans. I know people like X and Dave and don't like, just like us, people like us and don't like us, but they're two passionate fans that they do a lot. They do a lot. They do podcasts, the match day events. They love West Ham just as much as what we do. I do agree. I do think, especially on social media, you can have your say. We come on here, we have our say. People in the chat have their say. Some people go over the top. Some people make it a vendetta. Some people, look when we first got David Moyes back. What was it like? Toxic. People are now starting to turn on Mark Noble, one of your own. But sometimes I find that it's the fake accounts, that can wind people like us up, because we will bite at things like that, because we, as much as, it's like your family in there, with like rival fans, West Ham's our family. We could sit here and we could slate Antonio, we could slate Noble, we could slate Bowen, slate Moyes. But as soon as someone else says it, wow, that's it. We're protective. You know what I mean? Because they are us. We're West Ham at the end of the day. And, we all love our club. And as I said, we're passionate about West Ham. Dave and X, they're passionate about West Ham. I know them personally. They're great blokes. There's other people like Hammer's Chat, Gio and Gonzo. And there's loads of West Ham fans that do West Ham channels that we know. And we know they're passionate about West Ham. But I've met people, there's people in the chat that I've probably never met, but I know they're passionate about West Ham because they're here every week and they're watching us and they're giving us their opinions, and that's what we like. And you don't want. There's been a big thing over the last few days about social media with I think Swansea City and Rangers are the first clubs that are going to stop their social media for 7 days because of the racist comments that go on Twitter. And I know Thierry Henry's shut his social media down. So social media is a big part of our world, at the moment. Times move on. I know there's people that can't get along with social media. It's just times move on, and social media is a big part of our world now. I mean, the first thing most people do when they wake up in the morning is look at their phone and check their social media before they even get up and have a piss and brush their teeth. That's where it is. We're addicted to looking at things and tweeting about things and replying to things and reading things, and it's just you just want to put your opinions in there. I've chatted for too long.
I don't agree. I'll be honest, mate. Like I said, I don't think it's just our club. I think it's just football fans in general at all clubs. Like you say, with sort of the rise of social media and that, I think most fans of most clubs would say the same thing. That there's negative, even clubs that are like your Man Cities or your Chelseas, clubs that are always up the top. They've probably got the same, fans with the same saying the same thing. There's sections of the fan base that are toxic, but that's one of the side effects of social media.
That's it. There's look. Some people have a negative outlook on life in general, right? So you get negative people in the world and things like that. I wouldn't be so worried about the negative people, the doom and gloom people, when they're sitting there. Like Ryan said, we sit here on a weekly basis and we criticise players' performances. The difference is that player. Look, what did I say about Diop on after the Wolves game? I've said that he needs to look back at the game, look at the mistakes he makes. I criticise his performance. It's nothing against him personally. It's me picking out key factors in a game where I think he should do better and he should want to improve himself.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing we do on this channel, isn't it? Yeah. Is that we analyse games and we talk about West Ham things. So if a player has a bad game, we'll say he's had a bad game. But if he has a good game the week after, we'll praise him.
Listen,
but some people won't do that.
No, they'll ignore that good game.
I still see people now not praising Moyes for what he's done this season. And that's fair enough. If you still don't think that Moyes is doing a great job, that's your opinion. I think Matt Moyes has done a fantastic job this season.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. And that's what it's about. It's about opinions. And look, you can voice your opinion, but you don't need to be toxic. You don't need to be over dramatic or over negative or dig someone out at a personal level. You can criticise a performance, but then when that player then puts that performance right and steps up and plays a better game, don't ignore that performance and then wait for the next week when he miscontrols a ball or something like that and then criticise him again. You've got to sit there, and if you're going to criticise a player, then you've got to look at the positives that player does in the next game to see if he's progressing as a player, see if he's learning from the mistakes that he does. And that's what we try and do.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, mate, at the end of the day, the ops professional footballer on thousands of pounds a week, I'm what do I know?
Exactly. This is it, and that's our opinion. But it's just sometimes with the way social media is, a lot of people take it way too far. And like Ryan said, people hide behind fake accounts. And that's something that the one thing that social media needs to sort out is stopping these fake accounts. And look, we put a video up on any social media platform and put a highlight of a Premier League game on it. That video or that clip is gone within minutes. Yeah. People say some disgustingly hurtful things on social media and they don't take it down. And that is the big problem that we've got. And this is why, as I said, social media has got a lot of positives out there, a lot of things that it brings people closer together. You look at what we've got. If it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't be the channel that we are, because we've been able to grow through social media, getting more fans in to watch us, more people watching us, fans of other clubs watch us. There's fans from other clubs sitting here tonight watching us. And that is, they learn about us from social media. But as I said, social media has got a massive and negative effect on the way the world is at the moment.
Yeah. No, I agree, and it's a good topic to talk about, and it's probably something that we could do a whole show on, and it'll be good maybe to do something like that. But West Ham, the Three Hammers, I'll take it. This is Luke, another good channel. As I said, more passionate fans that we know. Moyes for manager of the season for me. Listen, I think if we get top four, then I think he should get manager of the season. I really do, because
disagree with that.
Listen, Guardiola winning the league is not. It's not a surprise. Man City winning the league, is it?
No.
Let's be honest. If they win, listen, don't get me wrong. If they win all four trophies, then you can't argue with Guardiola manager of the season. But if West Ham did make the top four, or even if they finish fifth, I still think Moyes should be up there with a shout for manager of the season.
Yeah, I'll tell you, mate, you're bang on with what you're saying. Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, they're expected to be up there. Their managers are expected to be, that's what, if let's be honest, if one of them teams don't finish inside the top 4, then they're looking at sacking that manager. So that's the expectation that they have. The fact that Moyes come in under the massive cloud that he come in under, with people saying, it's a backward step, he's not good enough, to achieve where he's put us at the moment. And as you said, if we finish 8th, it's still an achievement because he's progressed. We've progressed as a side under him. He needs to be up there with it because it wasn't expected of him. Everyone at the start of the season, West Ham getting relegated. We're sitting 4th.
I think including, on here, like when we're doing predictions, we was all predicting bottom half of the table.
Yeah, I said 12th.
I think I said 14th.
I said we'll be 4th going into 4th, 7 games to go. Do you know what? I don't even think I was around to do the predictions at the end of the season, so I'll sit back and watch all your lot at the end of the season, or what you said at the end of the season. But look, I agree with that. I think Moyes is definitely up there for manager of the season if we do finish in the top 4. Definitely, 100%. But right, let's before we go into our favourite part of the show, Ask Us Anything. Let's have a little preview of the West Ham Leicester game. Listen, everyone in the chat, give us your score predictions. Not yet, in a minute, because I'm going to read. We're going to say score predictions when I ask these two what their score predictions is. Then start sending yours in, and I'll start flicking them up on the screen and we'll go through them. But Scott, Leicester City at home. You'll miss the preview. I haven't watched your preview yet as it goes. I watch it.
Do you know what? I've been ill most of the week, and this has been
it's always ill. You're like a walking paracetamol.
It was a tough one to do. I think I filmed it. See, I don't edit it. I don't have the option to edit because I'm not as high tech as Nicky and Dan. So
do you know what?
I do it all in one go.
I'm gonna start learning to edit because I know Nicky's getting really good at it. Yeah. So he's gonna give me the login, and during the week I'm gonna start having a little practice. Start doing some little graphics and things like that, and then once I know it, that's it. Now the sky's the limit. I'll be editing. I'll be Mr. West Ham Fan TV.
But this is going to be an interesting one. Even with the loss of Antonio, Leicester is still going to be wary of us. They know how well Lingard's been playing. They want a bit of payback, didn't they, after the mauling we gave them earlier in the season? And I said it on the preview. For me, that's still one of the performances of the season.
Yeah, I can tell I watched your preview because I was just about to say the same thing. When I think back, when we do an end of season review and whatever happens, the first performances I think of is Leicester away, because I think that was what really sparked our season. That performance. I think we beat Wolves before that. Was it Wolves at home before that 4-0?
Yeah.
I remember it was because I was worried that game because it was Soufal's debut. And he was playing right back, and he was coming up against someone like Jamie Vardy, and I was just thinking to myself, this could be a mauling today. But I don't even think Vardy had a touch in our box that game. I'm sure, if I remember rightly, that's a stat from the game. And 4-0 was his finish, and just everything went perfect that day. And it was to go to a team like Leicester, or a great team. I admire Leicester not only as a team, as a football club. The way they run, they're just a great club from top to bottom. They've got some young, exciting players. I think Maddison's out injured at the moment. I think he come back last week. He might be on the bench, or he might even start against West Ham.
I think he was on the bench for the City game last week.
But there's sort of, I mean, Vardy always worries me because he's a great goal scorer. But Tielemans, Ndidi, and Perez, them three players there. I know you mentioned to me earlier, Scott, when we was talking about the build-up show, that Perez is one that worries you. But Ndidi and Tielemans are two players that I think that it's out of them two and Souček and Rice for the best centre midfield pairing in the Premier League, in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely, mate, definitely, and that just goes to show that they've got. And then you've got to look at, as much as he ain't had a fantastic career at Leicester, you've got to look at Iheanacho. I think he's got 12 or 13 goals so far this season.
He's starting to find a bit of form.
This is it. And
form at Leicester.
This is the thing with Leicester. When Vardy wasn't firing, Leicester would struggle. Now they've got players chipping in. I think Harvey Barnes is missing, which is a big boost for us as well. Though that's as much as we're missing Rice and Souček, he's going to be missing for them. So that's a bit of a boost on our part. But
didn't Rodgers, when we played him before, didn't he call that like the perfect away performance?
Yeah. As I said, with Vardy, you say the stat about Vardy, 1 touch in our box. He had less touches that night than Fabianski, who was in goal for us. And that goes to show how well the team played. And we're going to need another performance like that.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, at the back, they've got the player that turned us down, Fofana, Johnny Evans, So if we had Antonio, I'd think to myself, Antonio would bully someone like Johnny Evans with his pace, his power. I think Johnny Evans and I think Leicester play 3 at the back. I think they play similar formation to what West Ham do, and I think that Johnny Evans and the rest of his defence will be a little smile on their face knowing that Antonio's out, because they know that their job, as much as Bowen will give them a bit of, and Lingard, and listen, we're still going to give them a tough time, but I think Antonio gives you more of a tougher time than what Bowen would. And I just think that they'll have a little smile on their face.
I see what you're saying, but also when you look at the other aspect of that, the fact that you're going to have a player like Lingard, you're going to have Jared Bowen, he's now out to prove a point. Ben Rama's going to be in the mix for a start there. You've got a lot of skill, trickery, and pace to cause that back three, if they do play a back three, a lot of problems. It's not a case of Antonio missing. That's the end of it. There's other aspects of the game, but it's all how we then approach the build up to how we want to play. If we go long, I think Evans and the other centre half will eat that up all day long. We need to get the ball down and work it.
Saying that about the training session that Ben Rama was taking shots, maybe he'll play the false number 9.
Possible. We've done it before.
Option
for David Moyes.
But I just think it's going to be a different sort of game this time, because obviously we're the home team, so we're going to have to go for a little bit more, which will obviously play into Leicester's hands a little bit.
But I don't think we will, Gray, to be honest, mate. At the end of the day, this is a game where, again, I think it's another free hit. If we lose this game, it's not the end of the world. We draw this game, it's not the end of the world. Looking at our running, there's other games where if we want to be in the mix for that top 4, that we can't afford to lose. This is a game, for me, that's a bit of a free hit. Look, don't get me wrong, it's key if we do win it.
But then the thing is, you could say it's a team around us, so...
that's it.
I agree with what you're both saying, but I sort of, no disrespect to you, Greg, but I sort of side a bit more with Scott, because I see Leicester as a top team now. I see Leicester as a team that are growing each season, and they're up there. Last season they sort of fell away, didn't they, towards like this end of the season? Yeah. But for me, Leicester are a top team, and they've got some exciting players, and they've got a good manager as well, Brendan Rodgers. I just think I agree with Scott. If we do lose on Sunday, it's not the end of the world.
Oh yeah, I don't completely disagree with Scott. Like
you sort of did there, Greg.
No. He's saying it's a free. It don't matter if we lose, but if you've got aspirations to finish in that top 4, we're one place below Leicester, so you've got to say they're around you. So it's not exactly a free hit.
That's it, Greg. Go on. I agree with you now. I'm scared.
Chris Lover says, we played 3 at the back last time against West Ham, but it didn't work as it played into West Ham's hands on the counter-attack. And that's another thing. If we set up to play on the counter, you haven't got the pace of Antonio and the bull in the China shop type aspect that he brings. But then, as I said, you've got Bowen, you've got Lingard, you've got Ben Rama, you've got Masuaku. Plenty of pace.
I think Leicester sort of set up 3 at the back against City, didn't they, last weekend? And they come out, obviously. Listen, City are a great team. Leicester lost 2-0. But I think on the counter, West Ham, especially Jesse Lingard, if he does what he does and he can drop off where no one picks him up. He gets that ball and he can run. And what we need Bowen to do is what Antonio done against Wolf, making them false runs, making Johnny Evans and Fofana and I don't know, is it a Marte? I don't know if he'll be playing, but that's what you do. You pull the defenders away, and players like Masuaku, they got to get up and down. Souček for me is going to be massive in this game because going up against Tillemans and Ndidi is going to be difficult if it was Rice and Souček. With Noble and Souček, it's going to be double hard, and Souček's got to do double the work on Sunday. So it's going to be a massive game all round. But listen, we're at home. We've got a good record at home this season. So it's going to be a tough game. So I know I've seen a lot of people putting their score predictions in. So if you've put your score predictions in, start putting them in again now because I'm going to go through them again. Sorry, I'm not going to scroll back. So, Graham, what's your score prediction for Sunday, mate?
I'm going to go 2-1 us.
Scott?
I'm going to draw. I'm going 1-1.
I'm going to scroll back because no one's listening.
Yeah, no, they're coming through. They're coming through. They're coming through. I just want to say
2-2, Souček and Lingard. I'm going to agree with Hammers Mikey on this. I'll put this score prediction in my predictions this week. I'm going to go 2-2 as well. WHUFC always is going to 1 win. Fat Bloke 96, 1-1, tough game. Ian's going 1-1. Where are we? Let's scroll, keep scrolling.
I don't think I've got a prediction right all year, so I don't know.
Keep scrolling. I'm not going to read out his name, but he said 4-1.
Sorry, Scott. Sorry, Scott. I didn't see that one there, mate. I was looking now for I said I do apologise. Wolfie 1988, 3-0 this time. Hold on to a clean sheet last hour. Got me positive hat on. I thought he was going to say positive pat on then.
Positive pat. Where is positive pat?
Oh, she's up there, mate. Look, she's looking at me. Well, do you know what? When I come in here, because I haven't got blinds up yet, so I've covered the window. Like when it's dark, I've got that looking at me, and like it's like my little pat den. Let's have a look here. Peter's saying 3-2 West Ham. Nick's going for 1-0 Noble penalty. Ian saying 1-1. Lee's going for a 2-1 West Ham win. Mike's going for a 2-1 West Ham win, but he'd take a draw. Now we're getting into some right results here. If these come off, we're in for an entertaining game here. 3-1, Noble hat-trick. Oh, I'd love that. Damien's going 2-1. Ollie's going for a 4-3. I did see some silly results here, but I'll read them out anyway.
There was an 8-0 one. I saw.
Jack's going for an 8-0 Dawson. Go on, my son.
Joe, what? I know. There's, as I said, there's some Leicester fans in the chat tonight. I've seen them pop up. I'd like to know what their feelings are.
Do you know
what they think the score is going to be?
On the social, and Leicester fans are very respectful. They're a good bunch of fans. You know, they know their football. You know, they're. I've seen a little.
One of our favourite away days.
Yeah, that's why I didn't read that. I'm
not getting caught out with that. But Mr. Debater's going for 10-6. Kane Legs going for a tight 11-0 win. Maths, he's changed his mind. He's going for a 3-0 Fabianski hat-trick.
He's determined to catch you out. It keeps popping up. He's determined to catch you out.
1,000 to 1, 1,200 to 1 for that to happen. Matt Powell's going for a 5-0. Happy Hammer, $3.99 donated. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is Antonio and Lingard the new Heskey and Owen? I don't know. No. I don't know, because I think they both score. Heskey didn't really score, did he? He scored some crucial goals, but they weren't. Listen, I'll never knock Heskey and Owen. They had a great partnership. I think Owen wouldn't have been half as good without Heskey for Liverpool and England. So
yeah, no, I agree, mate. Yeah,
Scott, sorry, mate. Sorry. Well,
we're getting into Sunday League territory now. What's going on here?
Leicester fan saying 2-2. Leicester fan here. Absolutely love you lot. Thank you. There was another one. I can't find it now. Sorry, they're scrolling up so quick. There was another.
Right, I know we say it every time, but how much do we love Leicester away?
Oh, the old, what's the name of the old boozer? The Canting House.
Good pub, that one. Good pub.
Love that. Good away day.
Always a good away trip up to Leicester. Even if we don't get the result, it's always a good day.
Yeah, we always park in Leicester Tigers ground, and then we walk down to the Canting House, and then it's about a 10, 15-minute walk to the ground from there. Then after the game, fan cans, and we head back to the Canting House for a nice couple of cheeky. Well, me and Graham always get a cheeky Jack Daniels at the bar.
Yeah.
Another Leicester fan.
Scott's normally the designated driver.
As a Leicester fan, I'm saying 2-1 us. Hope you get top 4 though. So they're I think Leicester are a bit confident, but they're also they're wary of what we can do to them.
I'll be honest, mate. If I was a Leicester fan with the team they've got and the players they've got, I'd be confident as well, especially with the news of Rice and Antonio being out.
Apparently, Becker's got 2 tonight for the under-23s. They're taking on Manchester United, I think.
That's it. His old club, isn't it? So,
yeah.
Right. Theodore, the Pussycat, when are you doing Ask Us Anything? Because I have a very good question. Well, Theodore, tonight is your lucky night because that time has come. So, get your questions in. It's that time of the night. Ask us anything. We've got what we got about another half hour. We'll go half night tonight. And yeah, it's that time. Ask us anything you want. West Ham related. If you want to ask us questions personally, if you want to take the piss out of us, it's that when it gets past 9 o'clock, which is in 7 minutes time, you can say what you want. So, but keep it general. We are good blokes. But I'm looking out for I forgot his name. Well, Pussycat.
I'll see his question. I'm sure we'll see that when that pops up.
Hang on. I'll just see. Where's he gone? Philip Demicoli. Ryan talking about Leicester away. What's your first ask? But Philip, I was thinking about you last week because we was talking about. I'm sure it was Philip that said about the business cards, the old West Ham Fan TV business cards. I actually found some when I was moving. I found some in a bag that was like in this box or whatever. So if you still want one, I can send you them. I can send you a whole box if you want, mate. I don't know what you do with them, but they're great. I'll keep one for the memories, though. James is asking, who's Rachel? Great. Who's Rachel?
Who is Rachel?
Did you know Carlos Sanchez has gone to Watford?
Has he?
Ken Emmers just says Carlos Sanchez is on for Watford at Reading.
Yeah. Do you know what? I did actually know that.
Don't answer the question, who's Rachel, though? Who is Rachel?
Who's Sanchez?
Don't answer the question. Who is Rachel?
West Ham, the Three Hammers. I know you're a massive Ghostbusters fan. Which Ghostbusters would you give each one of the West Ham Fan TV lads?
So who would we say would be each one?
Oh, definitely Peter Vegman. I've got to be Peter Vegman. I don't care who the rest of you are. I'm Vegman. I don't care. I'm Peter Vegman. Graham would be Ray.
Gone.
Scott.
I'll be Ray.
Scott, you don't even know. You're not even a Ghostbuster, mate. You're young.
Yeah,
you're young.
Yeah. I don't get to have any fun.
Nicky, I don't know. Dan might be Egon because he's a bit. I don't know. He ain't brainy.
I would have said Graham would have been Egon. I see Graham as a nerdy type scientist.
I collect spores, molds, and fingers.
Vegman's my favourite.
As long as Ryan's Venkman, he don't care.
Yeah. Okay, I'm absolutely Venkman. Right, let's get some questions. Scott, if you see any, mate. Right, Fat Bloke 96. How do you get a West Ham Fan TV pint glass? Mate, I've been asking that question for last fucking year. I'm lucky.
I ain't even got one. I
had to fight Nicky out on the cobbles for it. It's from Christmas that I owe people for presents. Graham, here's one for you.
As soon as we know, we'll let you know. As soon as we know, we'll let you know.
Graham, here's one for you, mate.
I know this one. I know this one because he said it earlier in the show. He's 37.
Yeah.
All right, ready? I got one.
Always paying attention. Always paying attention.
Have you guys ever been to Malden?
What, Malden in
Yes.
Essex?
Yes.
Yeah, I usually. I'll tell you what. I was talking about this the other day. I usually go to in the summer. They usually do the steam fair there in what's the name of the big massive park over there? It's gone at me. Great pie mash shop there, by the way. But yeah, I can't think of that. But they do cinemas and there. But I love Malden. It's a lovely part of the country.
Been there a couple of times. I think
very nice.
We've played football there, Gray, as well. I believe.
Yeah.
In the past, yeah.
We have.
Right, Gray. Right, I found Theodore the Pussycat's question. Have you ever fighted on a spider and then put it back outside?
Have I ever fighted on a spider and then put it back outside?
No.
You know what? Funny enough, I actually have. I farted on it. It looked very distressed and upset. So I set it free in the garden. I watch it walk about 5 steps and then collapse. So I pulled it back in and I nursed him for a few days. And now he eventually went on to be Spider-Man.
Oh, and all the other spiders are like, where you been?
All right, back more serious things. Frankie Bat says, what top 6 rejects would you want to sign in the summer?
Top 6
rejects. Aguero.
Jesse Lingard. Because
Jesse Lingard and Aguero.
Man United. Yeah, listen, Aguero. Do you know what? I know it'd never happen. But I would love to see Aguero in a West Ham shirt. Honestly, I've been privileged in my lifetime to see an era of Premier League football and see some greats, some legends. Sergio Aguero, for me, is up there as one of the best that's ever played in this country. Honestly, I don't think it'll happen. But if we made Champions League and we offered him a 3-year deal, which is what he wants to stay in the Premier League, by the way. You never know, but I don't think it'll happen. But I would love to see. I'd love to see West Ham.
It's one of them, isn't it? If money wasn't an issue and stuff like that, you'd love to see a player like him. The problem is, who do we class as the top 6 now? You know, that's the thing. It's you know, if you're looking at rejects from, say, United. Well, as we said, Jesse Lingard said with Aguero, definitely. Who else is the top 6? I don't class Arsenal as a top 6 side.
Matt's asking, am I friends with anyone from Towie? I suppose we are friends, and we talk. But I know Ricky Raymond that used to be in Towie. I was lucky enough to play with him in a charity game, and we stayed in touch. I don't really know anyone else. I see them all the time when I'm out, especially when I go to the Blue Boar for a meal in Abridge. They're always in there, all the Towie people there. But yeah, Ricky Raymond, he's a big West Ham fan as well. Elliot Wright as well, big West Ham fan who used to be in Towie. Scott, do you know any of them? Graham, do you know what Towie is?
I do.
I've probably walked past any of them. Yeah, I've probably walked past or driven past most of them. So I wouldn't recognise any really.
James asking, as Dan's not here, Scotty, what's it or Quavers?
I'm going what's it's.
I was having a conversation the other day, and people thought I was making it up, and I had to actually Google it. Do you remember prawn cocktail Quavers?
Vaguely.
Oh, fuck
yeah.
off.
I don't think I've read them.
They exist.
I'm not saying they don't, mate. I sort of remember them.
So nice. But I'd have what's it.
Yeah, but
what's the flaming hot what's it? Oh, the big ones.
I tried them.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting into proper territory here, Scott. When you're talking
about
hot what's it?
But you're talking about prawn cocktail. I had a bag of skips for ages.
Melt on your tongue, they do. Melt on your tongue, mate.
Oh, I like them. Do you remember discos and all? Do you remember discos?
Yuri wants to know, I do remember discos. I had them the other day, Gray, as it goes. Nice crisp. Crisper choice. Marry, avoid. Karen Brady, Lady Gaga, and Sharon Mitchell. I think kiss, marry, avoid. I don't know. I think. Listen,
I'm going that order.
No, I think I'll avoid Lady Gaga because I've heard the rumours. Terry Andrews, your favourite TV comedies of all time?
It's like a bit Dad's Army.
Only
bit Dad's Army.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. I'll come back to that question. Breaking news. Prawn cocktail quavers. It's I'm getting emotional. I just want to take a minute out just to reflect.
See, now I feel like I've got to go and buy some tomorrow now to try them.
Scott, you have to. Look, I'm calling you Scott. That's how excited I am. I can't even remember what the last question was. What was it? Terry Andrews' favourite comedy of all time. For me, Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah, you've got Only Fools and Horses.
I like Monty Python. I'm a big fan of Monty Python.
I used to like MASH as well.
Yeah, I like MASH. Gavin and Stacey, big fan of that. Friday Night Dinner. Sadly, the actor that played the dad in there passed away earlier this week. Shocking that was. So young as well. He was only 54.
I just love that Friday Night Dinner. Brilliant.
I like. Listen, I wouldn't say I'm not a big fan of American comedies because I do like. I grew up with Friends, so I sort of like Friends. But when it comes to choosing out of American comedy and British comedy wins all day long.
Obviously, In Betweeners.
In Betweeners is funny.
Nina,
remember Men Behaving Badly as well.
I used to love Men Behaving Badly, and Game On as well.
Game On was quality.
Brilliant.
Game On was quality.
Brilliant.
Nino wants to know Godzilla versus King, who wins? Kong, who wins? King.
We'll have to wait and see. The movie's out soon.
Is that a film out?
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
Yeah.
I'm going Godzilla.
Yeah, but then what was it in one of the King Kong film when he fought the T-Rex, didn't he? He beat a dinosaur.
Yeah. Godzilla's a different dinosaur type of dinosaur, though, isn't he? You know, he can shoot fire from his mouth. He's the king of the lizards.
I ain't got a clue what you two are talking about. Mark Brown, guys, do you have a favourite Paul Ritter scene from Friday Night Dinner? Do you know what? There were so many scenes with him, but one that made me laugh was I think it was in the final series when the son come back and he was married from Vegas. And do you remember when he done the impression of Elvis saying, "I now pronounce you man and wife," and the nan just cracked up. And there were so many scenes, but I used to love it when he said about squirrel. That's a lovely bit of squirrel, Jackie. when he kept going to the freezer.
What was the one when his mum come to visit?
Yeah. And when his mate come and he was thieving. There's so many. It's such a shame. Great actor because he was also in Chernobyl, wasn't he?
I ain't seen that.
No, I've never seen it either.
Very, very, very good program that is Chernobyl.
Philip's asking Lakeside or Blue Water. One winner for me, Lakeside.
Lakeside.
Blue Water once, and funny enough, that was last summer. I went to. There's a crazy golf thing over there, and I went over there last summer. But Lakeside for me, I know Lakeside like the back of my hand. I can tell you where every shop is. Know exactly where. People ask me when they come in. They don't even ask Lakeside people that work there. They ask me. They say, "Ryan, where's this?" And I say, "It's on the second floor opposite Clinton's."
I go, "Ryan, where's Foot Locker?"
Coming off of our Syria for a minute, Odebecky's now got a hat trick. So that's one way to get back at a club for letting you go.
Bet he's loving it, isn't he?
LG Sports is asking, do you guys watch West Ham clips? Yes, I'm a massive fan of West Ham clips.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of other clubs starting to take him off now. I see a Man City one the other day, but
the clips normally end up on our group chat, don't they?
West Ham clips is a great account, and win, lose or draw, you know, even when we lose, as much as I hate losing, the next day I know that West Ham clips is coming up and I can think, right. And I actually see Declan Rice tweet out the other day saying, waiting for West Ham clips now. And that's great for the West Ham clips account. And obviously I don't know who he is, but if I ever meet him and he reveals who he is, I'll definitely buy him a pint.
Definitely.
He won't have to buy a drink all night, I don't think. He won't have to buy a drink all night.
And as Mickey says, chocolate penguins or blue ribbons?
Penguins.
Penguin.
You know what?
Ribbons are all like the bunking in your tea.
Penguins is a bit of light relief because you get a nice little joke with it. It might be a shit joke, but it's a joke. And they think about that. It's like we used to have a shit lollipop, but you had a joke on the stick.
Do you remember? Do you remember trios?
I want a trio and I want one now. Or what's it? Oh, you can't beat a club. I
love clubs. Clubs are quality.
Mint or orange?
I know. I like the white chocolate clubs. You had them?
No, the gold one. What's the gold ones?
That's the white chocolate one.
Oh, yeah. God.
No, I've had one. Them, yeah. No, they're good. Them. I don't know one for you.
Matt Powell says, "Have you ever watched Animaniacs?"
Where the Animaniacs do. Yeah, I remember that.
Many years ago.
The young Ryan Archer. I remember that coming home. Yeah, I used to love Animaniacs.
Do you remember Muppet Babies on a Saturday?
Muppet Babies, yeah.
John, sorry, just quickly. Lee's asking, have you ever broke down in a car going to an away game and did you get to see the game? I've never broken down in an away game, but I wish. Hang on, I don't think he's coming on. I've messaged Nicky. I don't think he's coming on tonight. I know he's saying no. He's got something personal going on, like nothing serious, by the way. But he's not going to make it tonight. But we went to Reading away once, and Nicky had a brand new Peugeot 206 that he picked up on the Friday before the game. And we're driving to Reading. Everything's going well. Then all of a sudden the car starts going a bit funny. The window wipers are going slow, and it was a brand new Peugeot 206, and we broke down. We went to the game, and by the way, we were shit and we lost. I think we was 3-0 down after about 10 minutes. And on the way home, me and my mate Roy that was in the car ended up having to push it round near Big Ben. And Nicky took it straight back to Peugeot, and I'll never forget there was two people in there buying a brand new car. And they was just about to buy it, and then they see us pushing it in, and Nicky was screaming at the geezer, going, "Away! You sold me a shit car!" And I think it was the fan belt or something went on it. But yeah, I've personally never broken down.
What is it with Nicky and buying cars on the way to away games? Me and him went to Watford away, and then we had to get the train to Chelsea to meet this woman because he bought his car off of the car he's got now off of him, and then we drove to Watford from there.
Who's that?
Nicky. He's got a history of buying cars on the way to football.
Oh, Cameron's just saying he's got a back sack and crack appointment. Let the fella groom him. I don't know. We must have someone that leaks information on this channel because I didn't want that getting out. But he's actually having that, and he's doing his head as well. So he's having head, back, sack and crack appointment.
Imagine the pain. John H has got the important question. Maybank holiday, Southend or Margate?
Margate.
Oh, Johnny Boy's outing.
Oh yeah.
I've been Southend for a few years now. Last time I went to Southend was for an Only Fools and Horses exhibition on the pier. Down the bottom of the pier, they're going Boise. Boise was doing the same there, but that's the last time I went there. But I love Margate. I used to love Margate as a kid. Ben Bond brothers.
Yeah, been down there a couple of times on Beano's with the Hawaiian Hammers.
Oh, do you remember the old Mary Rose?
Oh, mate. Oh, it used to make me feel sick. You should love it, but it used to make me feel sick.
I haven't been Margate. I've worked down in Margate a few times lately. I've not been out there for a day out for donkey's years.
They've done it all up around like in the centre.
Yeah. Well, it didn't look like it a bit I had to go and visit, but
Theodore's asking, would you wear the shit emoji shirt Spurs for £1 million? I think, let's be honest, as much as we hate Spurs, £1 million just to put that shirt on for 10 seconds.
That's your retirement sorted.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have to.
I wouldn't do it, so you two can go fuck yourself.
I'd have to wear a West Ham shirt underneath, though.
Yeah, just so it doesn't touch the skin. Just so there's no.
I see a good question here. Where is it? Let me scroll up.
Why are you looking for that one? Terence Crane, Graham, can you please read my message? Kelly's Heroes. Oh, Gray, can you see it, Gray?
Yes, I can see it.
I want you to read it.
You know what?
Go on, mate.
That's two of my favourite films.
You've got to read it out, Gray.
It says, Graham, can you please read my message? Kelly's Heroes or Battle of Britain film? Which one do you like? I love them both. That's two of my favourite films there. Kelly's Heroes is brilliant. Like it's a war film, but it's sort of like a comedy bank heist film.
Okay,
it's brilliant. It's got Donald Sutherland, Telly Savalas, Clint Eastwood, brilliant. Battle of Britain is a fantastic film. Like the actors that are in that, it's basically a who's who of British actors from the 60s. Absolutely brilliant film.
Quality. Right, Jack's asking, who wins a fight? 32-year-old Dan Lawless or a 12-year-old Nicky Hawkins?
Well, Nicky was shaving at 10, so
I remember. Is Dan 32? Is he 32 now?
Yeah, he's 32. Yeah.
He must be 32. So
12-year-old. Yeah, he went to his 30th the other year.
I remember 12-year-old Nicky Hawkins. Yeah. That's sort of about the age when I sort of first knew him. So I don't know. I think I'd have to go for the 12-year-old Nicky Hawkins. I don't know. That'd be a good one. I think we should try to make that happen. I don't know how, but
will it be like the like Rocky, where they do the computer generated fight between him and the current champ?
Dan at 12 must have looked like Mini Me.
That's good. Is that Dan's nickname now, Mini Me?
Mini Me. Ken Hermes has got one. Brave Star, Mask, or He-Man?
I'll have to say He-Man. I don't know what Brave Star Mask is.
Brave Star was like speed of a puma and strength of a bear, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mask was the one Nicky was talking about the other day with the flying cars type thing. And obviously He-Man. But yeah, it's got to be He-Man for me out of them three.
Yeah, I had like Castle Grayskull and all that when I was a kid. So.
Jack's saying Mr. and Mrs. Quiz Night on Friday Night Pint in the future. I was going to do that at my wedding, Mr. and Mrs. But I'm glad we didn't because, we run out of time and I was a bit pissed and I just wanted to get pissed and dance anyway. So, I don't know.
So that would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? That would be quite interesting. I don't think we get girls up for it.
Yeah, no, I don't think they'd be up for it. But maybe we could pair up. You and Graham, Mr. and Mrs. I don't know, it'd be you. Me and Nicky. I'll definitely be the Mr. Nicky likes to put on a dress. Dan can just be, he can
be Quizmaster.
Yeah, he can be Quizmaster. Chris Green saying the chase or the weakest link.
I like the chase. I like the chase.
You know what I like? Did you see the new one they was doing? Beat the Chasers. I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I'm going to chase on that one.
But the weakest link was a good show back in the day.
It was.
I think that's how you should end the show tonight, Gray. Like Anne Robinson on the weakest link.
Just give it a little wink, like.
Kent Hammers is asking, Ryan, are you and Nikki doing the Just the Who of Us on My Hammers 11? Russ hasn't been in touch, but if Russ wants to get in touch, mate, I'm more than happy to do that. I watched last week's one. Good show.
You've reminded me, I do, because I'm not logged into Twitter in a minute, but I had an email come through today saying Russ had messaged me about, so I need to get in touch with him back going on, which I will do.
That was from about 6 months ago, Greg.
No. I've had a lot going on the last few months, so I'll get in touch with Russell next week about that.
Chris Mills is asking, what do you refuse to watch on TV?
The BBC.
Well, I'm sorry, Scott, but I can't agree with you there because EastEnders is on the BBC.
I don't watch EastEnders.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Let's him out of the fucking stream. I'm only joking, Graham. You can come back, and I'll tell you what.
I don't watch Line of Duty. Do you watch Line of Duty?
Oh, so you watch the BBC then?
Graham,
I didn't say I don't watch, but it was Scott that said I watched Line of Duty.
I'll be honest. The only time in the past I've probably watched 2 or 3 things in the past year on the BBC to the fact that I don't have a choice. Football was one of them. But yeah, I'll try to avoid them like the plague, to be honest. Can't stand them.
Aiden's asking, the angriest fan you've interviewed after a game. For me, it'll probably be Crystal Palace away when we drew 2-2. And
Yes.
The bloke had a proper meltdown over the shirts and
remember the old Bill
coming over and
the old Bill walking past, weren't it?
Well, this is the thing. Some people were saying to me, they were saying, "Oh, you look really scared on that interview," but I weren't. What people didn't realise is behind what was going on is that when the geezer was shouting, it was kicking off over the road between some Palace and West Ham fans. So I'm sort of keeping an eye on that because that's what you do, didn't you? When you see it kicking off, you're like, "Ooh." And then the police obviously then heard him shouting, so they're walking over. And if you watch that interview, you actually see me put my hand up and go, like, no, it's okay. Like, so I'm trying to watch that, listen to him, get shirts for him. And I mean, obviously, we've had some great interviews over the years. And at least some fans are passionate. Whether you
was quite angry after Astra Go-Go, wasn't he?
Yeah, whether you like what we do, whether people say we interview people, it's too soon to interview them, the emotions are running high. Listen, people have got their opinions at the end of the day. You know, more fan channels now are doing fan interviews. I remember fan channels West Ham fan channels, by the way, criticising us for doing fan cams, saying we're only where we are because of fan cams, and yet they're doing fan cams now. So it just shows you we all want to hear fans' opinions. We're a fan channel. We do this for the fans. It's that old cliche. We give fans a voice. I think fans have got their right to say what they feel.
Yeah. That's exactly it, mate. That's exactly it. Look, I get what people are saying. But that's what you want to see. You want to see the raw emotion, you know, because us filming fan cams after the game, that certain fan cams, you see that raw emotion, it bleeds out, and people can relate to it, you know, because somewhere deep down, you've all felt that sort of way when you've been at a game or after a game. You know, it's just because we've put it out there, people say, "Oh, it's embarrassing." It's not. It's how you feel. You know, how many people have we seen and commented on videos that we've put out that when, you know, they're watching a game, they're going nuts. You know, they're doing what we saw at that Palace one, what Dom did at the end of losing to Astra.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's what makes the fact that doing fan cams great, because you see the whole emotion, and everyone sits there and remembers the angry ones. Let's remember the great ones, like this one here, that Nathan's one. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Nathan, for me, I've been privileged to interview Nathan a few times on the channel, and I see him at most away games, and I haven't seen him. I don't even think he's on social media, and I remember the last time I heard that he wasn't that well. So I really hope that he's well. But yeah, Nathan, what a legend he was. I remember Everton away, we won 3-2 in the Bilic season, the last at the Bowen, and the fan cams that day were their memories. And whatever happens with this channel, I can always look back, and I still do sometimes. I still look at the old when we won at the Emirates, when Graham and Nicky went to Anfield, and when we won at Man City, and that was such a great season. And the fan reactions, that's what we want. That's what we love. That's what we love to see. And they're captured. And the thing is, you get father and sons come on and do a fan cam. You get little kids come on and do fan cams. And the thing is, if we didn't record it, they'd never be able to watch it back.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing. And as you said, Scott, people always remember the bad ones or the cringy ones, as people say, but people forget about the great ones that we've had. And we've had some good ones. And Nathan's one, when he said, what is it? He said, I'm more alive than Elvis. He said, yeah, he was just about the boat race, and he's just a great character, and I really hope he's doing well, and hopefully I'll see him again next season.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I'll tell you someone who never gets angry on a fan cam.
Go on.
Marshy, one of the calmest people I've ever met.
Yeah, I was saying this. I love Marshy. I love Marshy, but you can never tell when Marshy's angry or happy. He's just he's just but yeah, I mean, he's doing a podcast on our Patreon with Dom at the moment, and they interviewed Chris Akabusi the other day, which I think's out. I don't know if it come out today or it's out tomorrow, but it might already be out. But yeah, Eli's asking who's my favourite boxer. My favourite boxer of all time is Mike Tyson. I love Frank Bruno as well, so I watched the Bruno and Tyson documentary the other day. Brilliant, but I just love boxing. Chris Mills, what's your first impression of the London Stadium, and has your opinion changed? Graham, Scott?
For me, first impression was it's a fantastic stadium, but it ain't a football stadium. And my opinion's still not changed. And to be honest, without knocking half of it down and rebuilding it, I don't think it'll ever change.
No. It's, I mean, I went over there. I was over there for the Paralympics, and I was thinking, oh yeah, this is a nice stadium. It looks nice, all shiny and new. But like Scott said, I thought it's not going to be a football stadium. I mean, it's funny. It worked out like they played baseball game over there. They played the Yankees v the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And it, funny enough, it actually worked better as a baseball stadium than a football stadium.
Yep.
I'll be honest. I remember the buzz of the first game over there, the Europa game against Domzale. And I remember walking in that stadium, walking up to my seat. And when I first walked in and I see the stadium, I thought, wow. I thought, little old West Ham in this massive stadium. And then when you went there for the first Premier League game against Bournemouth, you start noticing things. And the more games you go there, you start noticing it's not that great of a stadium. But if I look at the stadium now to when I first went there are big improvements. The way it looks with the claret and blue, more claret and blue. I agree with you, Scott. I believe that it has to be sort of knocked down a bit to make it into a football stadium. But what you got to remember is we haven't been there since they've squared it off behind the goals. So that might make a little bit of a difference. Probably won't, but you never know. What am I looking for here? Let's have a look here. Have you ever heard of the Super Furry Animals, a Welsh band, my favourite? You ever heard of them?
I've heard of Super Furry Animals, yes.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Don't think I can name a song, but I have heard of them. Yeah, talking about bands.
I've never heard of them.
Another person that passed away today, DMX.
Yeah, I see that. I think I see Troops on Twitter tweeted about that.
Yeah. I think he's only about
50.
50.
He's only 50, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Scott, what's your beef or tofu if you like that? But what's your beef with the BBC, Scott?
The fact, one, that we have to actually pay for it, and we shouldn't. You know, we pay enough as it is to have Sky and Virgin, and we have to pay for a TV company that, you know, basically forgets what they're about. You know, they're there for the people, and it's the, you know, I just can't stand them. Just cannot stand them. The rubbish that they spout, you know, just the way they are in general. But for me, it's the fact that we have to pay for it. Why should I have to pay a tax on watching the telly when I have to pay to watch Sky, I have to pay to watch Virgin, whatever way you've got, you then have to pay this tax to sit there and have a TV in your house. You know, it's ridiculous. And I said, and you know, look at the stuff that they've covered up in the past as well. You know, they're just it's an outdated system that needs to be got rid of. Let them, you know, why they sit there and get paid to have TV they have product placement. So just give them adverts. It doesn't, you know, I still won't watch it. But
they give us Fools and Horses and EastEnders.
They did. Look, don't get me wrong. They've given us some fantastic.
I agree with you. Joking aside, I do agree with you.
Their output has gone down the pan.
Yeah, exactly. I used to watch them. I used to watch the BBC a lot. Doctor Who. I used to watch Neighbours. You know, and No Edmonds. Yeah, they had some fantastic shows in the past, but now just the way they are, you know, it's wrong. It should be defunded massively.
Big break.
They had some fantastic
tonight.
But it's just the way they've gone now.
Say goodnight, JV. Good night, JV.
Not as many rules as you can.
Press lover. What famous person in history would you love to meet?
Are we saying non-football related or football?
Yeah,
related?
just whoever you want, mate. Whoever you want.
History and whoever you want.
Tough one, man. There's been a lot of important people.
Do you know? I'd love to have met Queen Victoria.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You know,
our second longest running.
Right. Who would yours be?
Well, I think the obvious would be Elvis Presley, but let's take away from Elvis. I don't know. I think I like in history. Probably the captain of the Titanic and said, "Why don't you swerve?" No, probably in history, there's so many people in history.
There's loads. I'd love to meet them.
I really don't know. That's got me stumped, that question. That really has.
I'll tell you what I'd like to have a drink with, and I think it'd be a really good laugh. Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good shout.
Yeah. What about Laurel and Hardy?
Oh well, that's a completely different night. That's a night of reflex. That is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to come back that one.
Henry VIII. You'd have a lovely buffet.
That'd be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Interviewing Henry VIII.
Go driving around his house, I tell you.
They're a lovely spread. Lovely spread.
Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Controversial, but.
Churchill would be good to talk to, like to sit down and have a chat with after the war had finished.
What do like war fan cams?
about like Guy Fawkes. So what are you doing?
What are you doing in the House of Parliament trying to blow it up? You muppet. You know you're not going to get away with that. Now look at you.
You're going to get yourself caught. Now go on.
Now look at what's
being silly.
Do you know? You saying about Charlie Chaplin, right? You know he comes from South London.
Yeah.
You know he met Gandhi in East London in Canning Town.
Really? Say Gandhi. Gandhi.
I know what you're saying, but if Dan was on here now and you told him that Gandhi went to Canning Town, that'll be the end of it.
On the A13, right? Listen, on the A13 down by
what in the Paul's Head pub?
No, what's you know where the Beckham Arms pub is?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So you know you got that slip road leads on
to McDonald's there, are you?
No. There's a park on the A13, little park called Gandhi Gardens. And that's where a house stood where they met.
All
True
right.
story.
Every day's a school day.
Yeah.
Someone please next week when Dan's on mention this moment, and we're going to get Dan's verdict on that.
Dan's going to go.
What we got? We've got another 5-10 minutes. So, were you boys Fiestas or Novas? My first car was a P-Reg Red Ford Fiesta, overheating all the time.
My third car was a Fiesta XR2i.
Yeah, Fiestas. Gray, what was you? Olsen car?
My first car was a 83 Polo.
You fucking would, wouldn't you? Chris is saying Dan Walker is leaving Match of the Day 2, I believe. Great, nice little job for you there, mate. Fancy it?
I mean, their ratings will go right down, but you know.
Don't put yourself down, mate. Don't put yourself down.
Don't put yourself down, mate. Look, we all think it, but don't you dare put yourself down.
Yeah,
Matt Powell wants to know, which gladiator did you fancy? Gray, I see you more of a shadow man, if I'm honest.
No. What was it? Who was
Wolf?
it? It was a
Hunter, Jet, Lightning, Cobra.
Yeah, who was the one? Who was the one with the black hair?
Jet.
Yeah.
I reckon he's more John the referee.
Do you know what? I don't think I
You're
can
any
of the other female gladiators, barring Jet.
I don't know. Lightning, I think, was more me.
Was she blonde, Lightning?
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I just remember. Yeah, Jet was amazing.
Great. I've got a question here for you, mate, and I know you've wore both of these, so I want to get your opinion. Leopard skin thong or yellow budgie smugglers?
Well, if you want to go for the sexy beast look, it's got to be the yellow budgie smugglers, isn't it?
In fact, before we went live, Graham had a pair of leopard skin thong on, and I had to tell him to change because he kept standing up and one bollock was hanging out. And I said to him, we can't have an in-between moment. So,
yeah, no, if you go to the, it's got to be the yellow budgie smugglers, isn't it?
Yeah, I see. Look, I wasn't making it up.
Bit more Peter Stringfellow.
See, wasn't making it up there, boys.
Gandhi Chaplin Park.
Yep.
That's like where I used to live, and you had because Pocahontas was died in Tilbury. I'm not even fucking lying. Why are you laughing at that? So what? You can tell me that Gandhi and Charlie Chaplin met in Canning Town McDonald's, but yet I say Pocahontas died in Tilbury. It's fucking true. Oh my god!
I'm going to Google it.
Google it.
I'll Google it.
Tilbury, and there is actually a church where she's buried, but I think now it's been built over. Google it. Someone please back me up. Ken Hammers are backing up here. He knows. he knows loads of history. He knows it.
Sam says, "You guys a fan of any non-league teams?" I'm a follower of Haybridge Swifts.
I've got a few around church, Barking.
Obviously, Haybridge Swift, Julian Dix has gone back there as manager. I went and watched Aveley a couple of times, but where I live now, I think it's East Thurrock Football Club is the local team. So when you can start going back over there, and obviously West Ham Main on, I'm going to go over there and watch them.
I've been to Hornchurch a couple of times.
Yeah, I see. Look, Pocahontas is buried in grave.
Yeah, that's why I thought I'd put it up to say. But yeah, I've been over Hornchurch a couple of times. I
went pre-season on church, but then I went to a game over there. But I was going to go a few this season, but obviously Crads weren't allowed.
What do you know? What? Go on, pick another question, Scott, because I'm trying to think of something here. Go on, pick something out. I'm trying to remember his name.
Hold on. You might be looking for another question. Bear with me.
Do you remember? This is a right random one. Do you remember Bill and Ted Excellent Adventures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the bloke that played who was was it Socrates? Socrates?
Yeah.
Right. And he's the actor that, do you remember in Scrooged with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when the waiter gives him the drink and he's got the eyeball in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, that's the same character, yeah, the same actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's buried in the cemetery in Hermit Road in Canning Town.
Is he?
Yeah. I heard that as well. Did you tell me that before?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was it called him in Bill and Ted? Was it Socrates, wasn't it? Socrates.
Socrates, whatever his name is. Ryan, you're Stanley Hope. Yeah, I mean, I live in Corringham now, so yeah, it's basically Stanley Hope. You should pop in the Railway Tavern. Mark Wall drinks in now. Listen, I spoke to a few West Ham fans that support that live in Stamford, and once the pubs are back open, I'm definitely going to go out and have a beer with the boys and that, and yeah, it'd be good. I know the Railway Tavern. I've drove past it a couple of times because I've been scouting the pubs. But it looks like it's a nice area, nice and quiet. It's just what I like. You know, I love a quiet life. So, listen, anyone wants to invite me out, I'm happy. Uber or walk, whatever. Minicab. Graham picks me up, drops me off.
I'm Des for the night.
Ian wants to know, have we ever done a panic room?
No.
I've never done one. I was meant to do one with work a couple of years ago, but I don't know why I didn't go.
There's one near Bank up.
Yeah, I think me and my mate went out early and had a couple of beers and then went to meet them, but we stayed in the pub. And then we panicked because we couldn't get out of the pub. So that's basically a panic room, isn't
it? I've seen a few questions tonight about the national. Anyone having a bet tomorrow?
I will probably have a little flutter tomorrow, yes.
Do you know what? I was saying this in work the other day. They don't advertise it as much as they used to, did they?
I didn't even know it was on.
No, I did. I'll be honest. I didn't really know it was on until someone in work said it the other day. And they used to really make a big meal of it, didn't they? Like proper advertising. But no, they don't.
It always used to be on. It was always FA Cup semi-final weekend, wasn't it? I used to have it on.
Yeah,
I used to have it on in between the games, or half time. Now.
I'll have a bet. I'll have to have a look through. I said I didn't even realise it.
I'll have a look at the guy.
Time to top up the betting account.
LG Sports is asking, have you ever watched Billericay Town before? Yeah, I have. I went over there a couple of times when Paul Konchesky played for him. I was there for their FA Cup game when one of the, what's his name, Jeremy Lynch played for him. Jermaine Pennant was playing. I think they won 4 or 5-0 that day. So yeah, it was a good club. It was at that time when Billericay was owned by obviously Glenn, and yeah, he was pumping money into him, but obviously he's left now, and I think he owns Romford. Not Romford the place, Romford Football Club.
Yeah, I don't know, where do they play now?
Who?
Romford.
I don't
probably
know.
my most local thing.
Joe says the Ball Corringham good pub a visit, right?
Listen, I can't wait for these pubs to proper open because I'm going to go and have a few drinks out in Corringham. So if there's any Corringham Hammers, I know there's Stanley Hope Hammers. I was on the podcast with the boys a few weeks ago, and I said once we can go back, we'll all go out and have a few beers together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gavin wants to know, do you lads support any rugby teams? I'm a Munster fan.
I don't. I'm not really. The only rugby I watch is England. I'll be honest. I watch a lot of the Six Nations and the World Cup, and I only watch England. I don't watch any of the league games or anything.
No, I suppose my uncle Steve's Harlequins fan. He said when it opens up, I'll probably go. I've never been rugby. But me and Scott went to Sevens, didn't we, years ago?
Yeah. I see. I'm the same as Ryan. I watch England, but not really a massive fan of.
Yeah, I might see if go.
We went to the Graham, you was there, weren't you? When England, what was it in the Rugby World Cup when we won the semi-final against? Was it New Zealand?
New Zealand, wasn't it? Yeah.
And what was that? We was at the West Ham Way match day event, weren't we? Who was it that day? James Collins.
Ginger Pele.
Yeah. That was a good day. We was in the in O'Neill's in Leytonstone by about what 8:30 in the morning, was it? Something like that. Stupid.
Yeah,
9 o'clock.
Early doors. That one.
Beer in hand. Morning drinking.
I remember the Rugby World Cup final in 2003 when we beat Australia. Me and Nicky was out the night before in Stratford, and we ended up falling asleep round someone's house. And I remember waking Nicky up, and I said, "Nick, come on, mate, we've got to go." And he's like looking at me like, "Where?" And I said, "Back to the pub. We've got to watch the World Cup final." And I remember that when Johnny Wilkinson won us the World Cup. What a moment that was! And I wouldn't say I'm a passionate, mad rugby fan, but when England achieve things like that, you know, proud Englishman, you just want to see England do well. And that was a great team as well. Johnny Wilkinson, Martin Johnson, Phil Vickery, you know, some great legends in that team.
Well, I remember the Cricket World Cup the other year when it went to that Super Over. It got to about the last 3 balls, and I went on. It was in the pub. It was in Yates's in Romford, and I just went, "Oh, can't watch this. I'm going to hide in the toilet till it's all over."
Dean Henderson says, "I've moved up north, unfortunately. Any fan clubs I can get involved in? I'm in Halifax at the moment. Halifax, lovely place, Halifax. I've got family up there.
When you go up there, Scott? When you go up there, are you going up there in the summer, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be up there in the summer.
Well, there you go. Meet up. Pubs will be open. Go and meet Dean. You can start up the Halifax Hammers.
I'm sure there'll be other West Ham. I know there is because I've seen a few West Ham fans up there. So, yeah, I'm sure if there's anyone in the chat who can help Dean out, let him know. Matt, I've seen a couple of times you've asked, mate. All going good. Had another scan today. I think we've got 4 or 5 weeks left to go. So yeah, it's all going well at the minute. Thank you for asking.
Scott won't be on Friday Night Pint for a little while.
Oh yeah, I'll either be on Friday Night Pint with like matchsticks holding my eyes open.
Maybe we can do an earlier one. We can do a Friday night bottle feed or something like that.
Scott, you got a question? He's like, "What? What'd you say?"
But yeah, I think that's it. I think we'll leave it there for tonight. We've gone on now for 2 hours, 12 minutes. It's been a great show as always. Great to interact with the live chat. Thank you so much for getting involved and giving us your thoughts, your opinions on the topics and getting involved in Ask Us Anything. It's what makes this show. As I said earlier, the pubs are opening next week, but we'll still be doing this on a Friday night, building up to hopefully doing this live in a pub one night where everyone can come down. There's no restrictions. We can just have a proper messy night, get to meet everyone. And Graham, before I do the outro, mate, you got anything you want to say? Anything you want to add?
I'll just do my hand mobbing some wink. There you go.
Brian, we almost forgot.
Oh, yes. Go on, Scott. I'll let you read that out, mate.
A big fan of the show, George Bernard, I think his surname. He is he's getting a campaign together to get adequate disabled access for train stations. You know, places like Plaistow and places like that haven't got any. He's got a petition going at the moment. I don't know whether we can do it on here, but we'll get the link probably put on our Facebook and on the bottom of this video. I'll overwhelm with Dan, see if he can do it to sign a petition. You know, it's a good thing. A lot of train stations, you know, I live in Loughton, the train station here hasn't got good disabled access, and it's something that, you know, they should be investing money in. So, you know, get behind George. As I said, we'll post a link in the bottom of this video when I can get Dan to do it, and we'll stick it on a couple of other of our. We'll retweet it on Twitter as well. But yeah, if you could sign that petition, because as I said, that is something that, you know, we need to look into. You know, my mum's getting a lot older. She's not as mobile as she used to be, and even if she wanted to get on a train, one of her closest stations is Plaistow. She can't really do the stairs, and she couldn't get off here at Loughton because there's not a lift. So yeah, you know, everyone get behind it. Have a look out for the petition and sign it, please. Yeah,
it's a great campaign. And when you sent me it earlier, as you said, Scott, you know, our parents are getting older. you know, and eventually we'll get older, so we'll need that access and things like that. So, yeah, definitely. If you send me the link, Scott, I'll add it to the link in the description below. And also, we'll post it on our Facebook and Twitter, and we'll keep retweeting it. And hopefully, I think George has just popped up there.
Yeah, just see.
Thank you. So, George, no worries at all, mate. I'm glad Scott reminded me. We just got lost in the show tonight, but no, yeah, we're definitely doing
fantastic. Fantastic calls to get going.
Definitely, and it's thank you so much for doing that, George, as well. It's a great campaign, mate, and good luck with it. Good luck with it. Yeah, so listen, we'll be back for match day content on Sunday, starting with the big match build-up show hosted by Ryan and Scott.
Looking forward to that, mate.
It went down well last week, didn't it?
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it last week, so it was good.
Mate, it was good.
I've got one busy Sunday now because I've got to get. We've got Thames in the morning, 10:30 kickoff. Once we finish there, I've got to race home to get here to meet up with you for the pre-match build-up. Then we hand over to this week.
Don't you dare be late, Scott. Not on your second shift, son. If you're late on your second shift, I might have to start looking for another co-host. But,
I'll be there. Don't worry. We'll hand over to Nikki and Dan for the watch along, and then I'm guessing us three possibly will be back and joined by one of them two for PMP.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll have the big match build-up show, and me and Scott are sort of the warm-up act for Dan and Nikki on the watch-along. And then once the watch-along's done, Nikki will be doing fan cams, and then once fan cams are done, we'll be back with post-match pints. So it's a busy match day. Graham, what are you doing? You getting involved?
Yeah, I thought it was a post-match point. So,
well, listen, mate. If you want to come on post-match pint, happy days. I love having you on.
That's it.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
And then I'll be back on Tuesday with On the Social. Graham, that went down well, didn't it, this week?
Oh, I enjoyed that very much.
Good having you on. I'm getting a bit too much on this channel now. You know, my face on most shows.
That's what happens.
That's what happens when you get your own room and you want to jump on. I might have. I don't want to say too much yet. But I might have something sorted out for next week. I'm going to try to do something, not a show, but an interview. I don't want to say too much yet because it might not happen. And I like to do the interview, then upload it before telling anyone. So I'm working on that. If not next week, it'll be the week after. But it's something completely out of my comfort zone. It's football related, but it's not football related, if that makes sense. It'll make more sense when it comes out.
That's it.
And yeah, I think Nicky's got a musings coming up. I think Nicky did have a musings and his computer failed and he lost it. So he's got to re-record it again. So I think he'll be doing that tomorrow. So musings will be out.
Yep. Previews out now as well. So check out.
Sorry, Scott. I was getting to the preview. Scott,
lots to watch over the weekend.
Yeah, Scott's previews out at the moment, so go back and give that a watch. Yeah, I think. Listen, we want to get, as we said last week, we want to take this channel to another sort of level now. I forgot to mention it at the start of the show, but this show is sponsored by absolutely no one. So if you do want to sponsor us, message me on Twitter or get in touch with the channel and let's get a sponsor involved that can allow us to, I'm not saying that we want to do this as much as we'd love to do this full time. We can't do it full time. We've got mortgages to pay. We've got bills to pay. One day, you never know. If it all goes well, we're working hard. But yeah, if there's any sponsors out there that are interested in us, even if you just want to sponsor a show, get in touch with us. We've got so many shows now that we'd love someone to sponsor it. So I'll better plug the t-shirts while I'm here. T-shirts, is there pint glasses if you can get hold of them? Rare. I think you might find them in Davy Jones's locker. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I've plugged everything. Oh, don't forget the big match build-up show. It's a new show. I'm plugging that again. I'm only joking.
What's all that? You mentioned that before. What's that one about it?
Well, it's a show that me and Scott started last week, and it went down really well. We sort of build up to the watch along, but no, mate. Listen, thank you so much for everyone for watching tonight. Loved getting you involved. And yeah, Graham, as always, mate, I always give you the last word. And I know you love doing it, mate. So if there's one bit of advice you can give me and Scott and the viewers, and to end the show on a positive note,
Yep.
Say it now.
Right, look after yourselves, look after each other, and be kind to each other. Makes the world a much nicer place.
100%. Totally agree. And on that note, one thing left to say.
Come on,
Giants.